Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oops, Ben is jumping up on all my cards. So first of all, hello. Happy Sunday. Don't mind my hair. This is part of my effort list today. That I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be casual. So here I am. I'm going to spray my Metatron spray. Love the smell. Archangel Metatron by Amanda Ellis. Awesome. All right. I think I'm going to move my angel candle, which I love, over here to shed some light on the cards today. So, one of my friends has given me this, or had given me this card. They're from unity.org/prayer. Pray it forward. I love that, right? And she gave me one of these, which is violet, and it says, I have all the patience, courage, and wisdom I need to follow the guidance of spirit. I know the right path will be revealed at the right time in the right way. And I think so many times we just don't have the patience that we had hoped we would have by now, those of us that are in the twilight years, like me. But here we are, still working on some of the same things and just allowing ourselves to be in the energy of trying to still master some of these things. So my labradorite sphere wanted to come out. This is my labradorite sphere, and oh, that's interesting. The light shining off it, and we have a little circle here. But it's so beautiful, the colors, greens and blues and different shades, and it reminds me of the outer worlds as we look at the sky and we imagine different things. Here it is. I probably told you this before, but for some of you that are new, that I first started channeling using labradorite. I didn't even know what it was. I bought this sphere at a shop in Northampton many moons ago. Oh, actually, it wasn't this one. I had a smaller one that fit better in my hand. And I was sitting in the store in a chair. My friend owned Epigee, which was an incredible place to gather and meet. And Wendy would have different events there and different classes. And she had all kinds of really cool things. She started it just like me prior to the internet. We started our shops, and we would have people come in because it was the way for them to connect and meet others. And so I bought a smaller sphere of labradorite, and one day I was sitting in this beautiful wicker chair it was sculpted with this big high, reminded me of a priestess chair. And I was sitting in there and I was just closing my eyes, and all of a sudden I started to get messages. And the messages were from beyond. It was the galactic energies. And I know many of you aren't sure about the galactic and you're afraid of what you don't know. But the galactic energies, most of them, are pretty amazing. They're here as a team to help us in our own evolution and our own ascension process. And I just loved the labradorite. And this is known for channeling anyway. So if any of you are trying to reach beyond what you can see and know, use the labradorite and go into that. So as you go into the energies of this, you start to feel the energies of all different dimensions of time and space, different timelines. I didn't know what that was then, but I do now. And you start to feel the energy of it. Just me holding this and moving it. And for some reason, labradorite feels different than all the other stones. I can be holding rose quartz or whatever, and that's beautiful and all of that. But with this particular stone, it just takes me away, Calgon, for those of you that remember the commercial. It just brings me to a different place. So what I thought I would do today is to sit back and see what is the message for today. Before I go into the cards, I thought I would see if the galactic energies have anything to say to you as a whole, as a group. And if it's something you cannot relate to now, it may be something that comes to you later that you can relate to. And when I channel, I have to close my eyes to block out all the external and just be in that space. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get comfy. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to see what wants to come. Just a short message or so. Dear ones, this is a message of hope and understanding as we as a collective race and a collective group move forward in the unknownness of what tomorrow holds. Many are fearful, many do not understand why you are all going through this at this time. Think of it as a journey, a long, long journey that started a long time ago that you've been on. There are many things you do not understand yet. It's much like creating a puzzle where you start with the border or the frame of the puzzle, and you don't know how you're going to get the rest of those pieces in, and it starts to come to you. This is what your journey has been like. This is a message of hope and understanding, as I said, because it is important to be the light, to trust the light, to bring the light into the darkness. And you may say, why should I do that? Or why would I do it? Or how do I do it? And we say to you that the message is one of forgiveness. That as you start to move towards your future or your potential of many futures, it is important not to hold these restrictions in your bodies. As you hold restrictions, it is quite impossible to be open to all timelines because everything is about choice and vibration. And as you choose to be in a certain vibration, that determines the choice you will make. It will also determine the timeline that you ride on, let's say. Many of you are still trying to figure out what timelines are, and this one has explained it several times. It's a choice. It's a different experience. You could have 100 different timelines in front of you, and you will align to the one that feels right for you to choose from. Each timeline will give you a new experience with different choices, pinnacle experiences, certain people you will travel with on that timeline. So as you move forward, we would say to you, forgiveness is key. Do not continue to hold the anger or fear, because we know everything is fear. That is not love. Do not hold this anger against your fellow light workers, your fellow humans who may choose differently from you. Because you see, there is no right or no wrong. It's simply a choice. And as you move in the days ahead, each will have the right to choose what is right for them, what is right for their soul, what is right for their timeline. We find it quite fascinating that in your realm, on your earth, people just want to be right and they want to project wrongness on others. And we say, it may not be the choice for you, but that does not make them wrong. Everybody wants to choose a different experience. So with the, we're going to call them hot topics that are on your plane, remember, some will choose left, some will choose right. Both are correct for that person, for that group, for that timeline. Some of you have chosen to pick a timeline where you all travel as a group, so you can all be right. Well, we will tell you, you can all be right, and you are all right. So this arguing or judgment that has gone back and forth between light workers, friends, family, husbands and wives, we tell you you have the right to choose. And in the process of having the right to choose, do not judge another for choosing a different way. We would also say to you, some of those that you judge in the worst way are really those that need your forgiveness the most. First of all, in the big arena of being visible, your politics, your movie stars, all those that are in the public eye in one form or another, or one shape of another, have sold their privacy out. So every single thing they do, a light is shined upon. And with that light comes judgment, anger. You either like this person and what they stand for, or you don't. So it is important to remember everything is always running through your perceptual filter. Good, bad, right, wrong. What if you got rid of that? And we're able to forgive yourself first of the judgment you have placed on all the others. So if you say, violet is the best color, and that is what I stand for, and someone else is red or green or blue or yellow, you, by definition, make them wrong. There is no wrong. And this is one of the hardest concepts for you healers, light workers, teachers to get. Because in order for you to be right, somebody has to be wrong. And we say this is not true on your planet. If everybody was left to choose how they wish to live their life, who they wish to live it with, what they wish to do with their life, oh, indeed, you would have a much happier planet. And those that wish to do it a certain way will be over here. And those that wish to do it another way will be over here. You see, you can coexist with one another on your plane. So we speak to you today of hope and second chances and forgiveness, where you can forgive yourself for the judgment you've had on yourself or others, for all those that you said they are wrong. And we wish for you to walk away with this, thinking there is no wrong. Everyone has the right to be. Once you recognize this and apply it personally in your life and also looking at the collective. Your life will become easier. We ask, what will you do with all that negative energy that you're used to sending out? Through your judgment and awareness, you will have a lot more energy to create and to be a part of something greater. And you will have that extra energy to give to yourself to choose which path you will take. You see, dear ones, it really is an individual path. We hear many of you say, you come into the world alone and you go out of the world alone. There is some truth with this. For it's all an inside job. So we will leave you with that to think about for this day, in this cycle of time. And we say, start easily with one thing, with one person that chooses to do it different than you. An older person may say, this generation doesn't know how to hold a job or work, because you've been working your whole life. It does not make them wrong. They value something else in their generation. They value time. They value what they love. Just like in your generation, security was important. So we leave you with this thought for today. Get rid of it. All extremes. So you can be in the middle and you can walk the path that you're meant to walk at this time, in this hour of need. If you could see how many walk amongst you in spirit world, both from the people you know that have died and gone on and their spirits are around you, guiding you, and also the galactic team. We have many teams from different universes trying to help you at this time to make your transition, not your death, your transition or transformation through this ascension process much easier. So do not think of us as scary beings that are trying to suck the life out of you. This is not what's true. This is what's been portrayed on TV, through movies. And we say this is not true. We are here to help you. We have signed up to be present to help you. Please recognize this. We will leave you for now as the Galactic Federation of Light. And if you need our help, ask. We shall work with you to get rid of your judgment, to bring back some patience and empathy. We love you very much, and until we speak again, blessings. Well, I never know what's going to be said ahead of time, but I do like the message. I can hear everything that's being said, and I like that. Okay, enough said. First card for this week, 4th Sunday in May. The Soul's Journey Lesson cards by James Van Praagh. And if you've ever had the privilege of seeing him speak in person, James Van Praagh is an amazing channel. So I'm going to ask for the week for everybody watching this. And what, oh my God. I don't know why I'm so surprised. I love it. Forgiveness. What were they talking about? Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. I love it. I hope I never get rid of my, oh my God, synchronicities, because I love it. Okay. James Van Praagh, unlike some others that I will not mention that are in the big picture, he is a true healer. He is not somebody that's just giving you a bunch of information. Nothing wrong with that. But this man brings the healing spirit through. Let's heal whatever it is. So when he brings, he does his mediumship and he brings somebody through, he really focuses on how can we heal this? And he brings through what needs to be healed. So I just love him. It says you can never flow with your natural energy of love unless you release the negativity of hate, anger, intolerance, or blame. Every soul in your path has free will and you have no control over it. What you do have control over is how you react to the manifestations of others' free will. Come on. You couldn't get any closer to the message. I swear I didn't pull this ahead. Holding on to that negative energy will strengthen karmic cycles, and forgiveness can break that pattern. The most important person you must learn to forgive is always yourself, for failures block the natural flow of love, which will attract all good things in your life. Well, there it is. Telling us, I don't think there's anything else I have to say about that one. So this week, give it some thought. And it's interesting because as you look at the card, it has a chain that goes around. It's almost like we have to break the chain of doing what we're doing. Okay, Denise Lynn's Native Spirit Oracle. Nature spirits. Lovely magical scene of the forest with a glow. I almost feel like at night this is what it looks like. That all the beings and the divas and the nature spirits all come out to play when everybody else is asleep in their bed. And just amazing. The glow. Joy, delight, peaks of careless abandon. Living wildly, magically, and free, being open to the wonders of the universe flooding into your life. Innocence and delight are abounding. Happiness is on its way. Wow. So that is pretty amazing. So we like that. When we're in alignment with spirit, everything opens up. Now, I've never used, well, I have used this on myself, but never in here. This is the Magdalene Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. So what does Magdalene want to tell us on this 4th Sunday in May? Acceptance. Wow, what a different artistry with symbols on her body, almost like tattoos. That's a powerful card. And I see it that way. You know, that with all these, she has all these tribal, looks like tattoos on her, and then painting over that, like live paintings of symbols. And how many times do people judge somebody? If it's not your gig and you see somebody tattooed from head to toe, oh, you got something to say, or piercings or whatever. And this is a reminder that everybody gets to choose. Nobody's forcing anything on you, so you shouldn't be in judgment of it. Kind of goes with the message today. But for this week, accepting. Also, what this looks like to me is accepting all those parts of yourself. You know, you might have shadow pieces. We do have shadow pieces. And People may not like them. You may not like them about yourself. Like, oh, there I go again. But accepting. Acceptance is the key word for you at the moment. You have the power to heal and bring balance to an area of your life that is causing you concern by accepting things as they are. Don't try to change that which is beyond your power to change. Focus instead on that over which you do have power. You have the power over the way you react to the events in your life. Adopting an accepting attitude will help you regain your sense of inner peace. There's no point worrying about someone if worrying about it will make no difference. Believe that the forces of life are with you and not against you. I love that. Star Wars, may the force be with you. Make the most of what you have instead of wishing you had more. However, acceptance does not mean that you need to give up on your dreams, hopes, or aspirations. Just know that there is a higher purpose to things and trust that all will work out for your highest good and for the highest good of all concerned. Totally. And when they talked about reacting, there's a difference from reacting to responding. So if we're reacting, it's knee-jerk, it's emotional. If we're responding, we take a moment to think about what the person said. You know, in our culture, some, I'm not going to say we as a whole, but some people get uncomfortable with the silence. And sometimes you do need to pause to think about what the person just said and then respond. So you take the time to think about it and come back with something then. Because if you're going to react in the moment to something you think you've heard, it's not going to work out good for you. All right, one more card. Let's do The Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Byron Reed. Spirit of gratitude. Look at that beautiful teacup with a flower over it, full bloomed flower. So this to me is pretty much self-explanatory, that as we have gratitude, things come our way, things open up for us. It's so important. It greases the wheel to bring things into our lives. The prospering power of prayer, communion with the divine, expressing deep gratitude as you move through the world, knowing that your prayers will be answered exactly as they are meant to be. In prayer, we connect directly to our higher power. It is a way for us to be in communion with the divine, a reminder that our lives are a sacred conversation we are continually engaged in. Prayer lets us know we are not alone. A power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, sufficing our hearts and minds with a faith that is life-affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are only part of the equation of life, that a spiritual aspect is always in operation. We engage in humility, knowing we are in a co-creative partnership and have so much to be grateful for. The kind of prayer that will prosper you and others today is one of deep, abiding gratitude. You may not have thought of gratitude as prayer, but it is. You become a magnet for miracles when you are grateful and ask to be a channel for divine purpose, divine abundance, love, and compassion. The powers of source is within you. Now is the time to awaken it. I love that, a channel for divine purpose, that your life is not just randomly being lived. Purpose. Love it. So this week, remember your words: forgiveness, nature spirits, acceptance, and the spirit of gratitude. And along with the message that we all received, this is an important week, it sounds like, to not judge. And it's so funny how we got forgiveness and acceptance in all of this. I just find it amazing. All right. Well, I hope you all have such a magical week. And practice. We don't expect you to have everything happen immediately. Practice makes perfect. Thank you so much. I love all of you. Wherever you are, have a great week. Bye.